All right, guys. Question of the day here. What's the one thing you'd wish you'd known before going to college? Um, the one thing I wish I'd known before going to college. Well, I think I don't think I would. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one, actually. Um, I think as far as like the day to day of college, I don't think there's anything that I didn't think it was that it wasn't. I think it was freedom and do whatever you want anytime you want. Um, I think we got, people my age were probably the last ones, my generation were the last ones that kind of were like, hey, this isn't such a bad deal, right? I mean, it cost about, oh, I remember it was like 7,200 per year to go. So it was going to be, 28, 30 grand to go. And there were some grants, things that I got. I mean, um, I was able to get like a Pell Grant or something um, for a little bit, right? $2,000, but 1,000 bucks a semester actually mattered a lot back then. If you were paying 3,500, got it down to 2,500. So I had like 21,000, I think, of student loan when I came out. Doable, right? It's like a car loan. Um, I think now you come out and you got 150,000 or 100 to 200,000, and that gets a little difficult unless you've got a lot of scholarships. Um, I think now, when I think of what do you wish you'd known, I wish I would have known that I didn't need to go. Is really what I wish. Now, did I need to go in '92? Oof, probably. I mean, it opened a lot of doors for you. I wish that I knew somebody in my life, maybe my dad's age. My dad was never going to be that guy. I love my dad, but he was a guy that he was an employee. He was always going to be an employee, and that just isn't the guy that's going to say, "Hey, are you sure you need college?" It'd have been great to have known some kind of entrepreneurial person around there to say, "Hey, you don't really have to go to college to make life work." Because probably if you do that, you are simply going to go to college, go get a job, and work for the man for the rest of your life. And I think that's a horrible way to go through life for 99% of people. Um, well, I shouldn't say that 99. That sounds a lot. It it probably is the way that it needs to go for 99% of people, right? You need to go get a job and you need to go work. If you're halfway, a little bit of you have a little go getter in you, and you have a little bit of gumption and entrepreneurship in you at all, I would say, yeah, don't go do that. And looking back on my life, right? I mean, one thing I always look back in my childhood is that I constantly was trying to make money and starting little businesses, right? I mean, early on, I mean, the very earliest is lemonade stands. I would sell cookies that my mom would make. I would take my dad's vegetables and I would out of his garden and I would sell those during the day while he was at work. Because if he saw me doing it, he'd probably be like, "Don't sell our vegetables." Um, but you're able to make lots of money that way. We also went to me and a buddy of mine in the neighborhood there, Jason Word. We got um, a little, I don't know what you'd call that, little area at the Fall Fun Fest, right in the game section, and we built our own putting green that you could putt, and you tried to win like NBA and NFL and MLB posters, like of Bo Jackson and Jose Canseco and Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, all those kind of things, and so we did that. I think we each had to put up like $200 for that. That was a lot when we were. I don't know. We couldn't have been. Man, I can't imagine 14, 15, something like that, maybe younger. Nah, probably about there. But, you know, doing that and just anything I could, I was always thinking, hey, what was a way we could do this? I enjoyed collecting baseball cards because I like the idea that you could get a card and make money, right? That you could buy a pack of cards for 40 cents and there might be a $6 card in it. And you could go take it down to the Dugout was our baseball card store in Blue Springs down on Main Street. You could go down there and sell it and he'd buy it for, you had a $6 card, you might buy it for 4 or 5 bucks. And and so I think I always had that little bug, and I wish somebody would have noticed that in me and said, you know what you'd be better off doing? You'd be better off starting a business. You'd be better off working for yourself. Um, but I, I mean, college, of course, is still necessary for some people, right? If you want to be an attorney, a doctor, a dentist, an accountant, yeah, veterinarian, you got to go, right? You just have to. There's just certain things you got to do. Um, and a lot of things have the school that you need to go to, right? You want to be a pilot, you got to go to flight school. You want to be an electrician, you need to go to a trade school, or HVAC guy, or there's all sorts of schools. But I think college, just for the sake of college, like I'm a graduating senior, I don't know what I want to do. Well, of course, go to college. And I think in my parents' time, right, when my mom and dad went, I mean, complete no brainer, right? I mean, like, hey, I got to take out, $400. Now $400 wasn't the thing that it is today, of course, but I just talking to like my dad, he was like, college wasn't expensive. It was just whether or not you wanted to put in the work. It wasn't that, oh man, this is gonna break the bank like it is today, or even like it was getting when I was there. It went from, he was paying, I forget, we saw some receipt he had that was like $180 for a semester, like included books, like, oh geez, yeah, it'd be like college, back when I went being, 1,200 bucks. Instead it was 7,000. And now from 7,000, it should be probably, I don't know, for an entire year, you probably should be paying 15,000. Instead, we're paying, 30 to 50, depending on where you go. So I guess I wish that people were given more options. I guess it was just a known entity like, hey, Benji, um, you had a 3.5 in high school and a good ACT score, you're going to college. It wasn't like, well, what am I going to do? You're going to study marketing. What am I going to learn in college about marketing? Right? I mean, we learned things like, my class that had the best teacher and that was the best, the highest level, senior level advertising class, advertising two. I mean, we were learning about print ads and radio ads. And I mean, even then, people were like, this print work still. Um, Now going to school 10 years later, oh my gosh, why would you ever put your kid in a marketing degree? Um, Everything you learn, it just changes too fast, right? I mean, Google Ads is not what it used to be 3 years ago, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I mean, you name it, right? There's another platform coming out, whether it's House or Pinterest or whatever, all the time. You can't make a textbook, so they'd have to change how they did it. So um, back to the question, what's one thing you wish you'd known before going to college? I wish I had known I had other options. I guess would be my answer. I wish that I knew that, hey, you know what you could do? You could go, I wish there was somebody like Teddy Farrell to, you know, I wish there were more people speaking like that because it was just like all the voices you heard around you were just, you go to college. That's what you do. If you want to be smart, you want to be rich, you go to college. Instead of, I wish there were more people like there are nowadays online that are saying, hey, are you sure college is worth it? You know what might be better? Go learn a trade. Go start your own business. Turn that into a 5 million to $50 million business. Own it, work till you're 50, and then retire. Instead, we were kind of caught in that between loop. And now ours wasn't as bad. We were in the between loop of, hey, this is so easy. Go get a job and go make a lot of money. Work till you're 65. At least when we got out, we probably could get a job. Now, Dad, when he says when he got out, it was like, man, anywhere you want to go work, you can get a degree. There weren't that many people that had degrees. Nowadays, everybody has one, so you're like, you got a degree, great. You and everybody else, man. So kind of worthless. So I guess I just wish I knew that I had more options, and I wish that I knew that there were other tracks. I love that Ella is thinking about. It'd be funny to look back on this video and see if she ended up doing it, but she's getting her pilot's license and wants to go to pilot school. I wish I knew that there were more options like that. There was like, I don't have to go to college. Like I could be pilot. I could be a business owner of a trade. I could be you can do so many things, right? I mean, yeah, it's kind of endless. So I'm going to stick with that as my answer, and and we'll kind of leave it there. So see ya.